The richest person in every room is usually the quietest. And it's not because they're shy. They know something you don't, something that would make most people uncomfortable if they heard it out loud. A truth so dangerous that speaking it changes how everyone sees you forever. Here's what nobody will tell you. Every conversation you've ever had was a transaction. Every friendship, a negotiation. Every smile, a calculation. And the people getting everything they want, they've accepted this truth while you're still pretending it's not real. Last week, I watched two coworkers go for the same promotion. One pitched herself perfectly. Credentials, experience, dedication. She lost. The other barely said a word in meetings, but for 6 months she'd been planting seeds, making the boss feel like promoting her was his idea, never asking directly, never showing her hand. She got the promotion and a 40% raise. The first woman still doesn't understand what happened, but you're about to. Right now, people are asking why manipulative people always seem to win, how silent types end up with all the power, what they're doing that you're missing. And you'll discover why everything you've been taught about success is designed to keep you poor and powerless. While you're being authentic and honest, others are playing a completely different game. Ignore this and you'll spend your entire life wondering why less qualified people keep winning. But stick around and you'll learn the exact psychological frameworks that create wealth in complete silence. 500 years ago, a man was tortured on the rack for writing the truth about power. His name was Niccolo Machiavelli, and what he wrote was so threatening to those in control that they banned his work across Europe. Leaders publicly condemned him while secretly studying every word he wrote. Why? Because Machiavelli revealed the game behind the game. The invisible rules that determine who gets rich and who stays broke, who gains power and who serves it. Most people think Machiavelli was evil. Wrong. He was honest, too honest. He wrote down what powerful people actually do, not what they pretend to do. And that's why you've been programmed to fear his ideas. Think about it. Who benefits when you believe that being good equals being successful? Who wins when you think hard work alone creates wealth? The people already at the top. They need you to believe the fairy tale while they play by Machiavelli's real rules. But here's where it gets interesting. Machiavelli discovered that reality operates on two levels. The surface level, where everyone pretends to care about morality, fairness, and helping others. And the hidden level, where actual decisions get made based on power, leverage, and self-interest. Every successful person you know operates on both levels. They perform goodness publicly while calculating privately. This isn't cynical, it's survival. Your parents couldn't teach you this. School definitely didn't, because admitting this truth out loud breaks the social contract. But you felt it, haven't you? That moment when you realized the helpful coworker was gathering intelligence, when the friendly neighbor was actually networking, when your mentor was using you to feel important. You felt crazy for thinking it, like you were the bad person for noticing. You're not crazy, you're awake. And this changes how you see everything from now on. If you've ever felt guilty for noticing these games, you're already more aware than most people will ever be. The question isn't whether people are playing games. They are. The question is, are you going to keep pretending they're not? Here's secret number one, the lion and the fox. Machiavelli said you need to be both. The lion scares away wolves through strength. The fox recognizes traps through cunning. But here's what nobody explains. You can't show both at once. Watch any billionaire. In public, they're the lion, confident, commanding, direct. In private, pure fox, calculating every move 3 steps ahead. Jeff Bezos didn't become the richest man by being the smartest. He became the richest by understanding when to roar and when to stay silent. Secret number 2 will change how you see every interaction. Never reveal your full capability. If you can do something at level 10, show level 6. Always. Why? Because the moment people know your limits, they know how to beat you. This is why quiet people get promoted. Not because they're mysterious, because nobody knows their ceiling. The loudmouth who shows all their cards, easy to outmaneuver. The silent one who reveals just enough, impossible to predict. You have the right to keep your full power hidden. It's not deception, it's strategy. But wait, there's a darker truth here. Secret number 3, your reputation is more valuable than your skills. Machiavelli knew that perception creates reality, not the other way around. You can be the most talented person in the room. Doesn't matter if nobody believes it. This is why incompetent people with good reputations get rich, while geniuses with bad reputations stay broke. Your reputation is an asset you build in silence and deploy strategically. Every interaction either adds to or subtracts from this asset. Most people are spending their reputation on small wins, being right in arguments, getting credit for minor tasks, proving points nobody cares about. Rich people, they're investing their reputation, building it quietly, waiting for the one moment where deploying it changes everything. If you've ever watched someone less talented succeed while you struggled, now you know why. Let me tell you what happens to people who ignore these truths. They become the working class of the social hierarchy, forever wondering why they're smarter, work harder, and care more, but get less. I watched my father live this way for 40 years. Good man, honest, direct, helpful, retired with nothing while his friend who borrowed ideas from him owns 3 companies. My father's mistake? He thought being good was enough. It's not. Being good without understanding power is like being rich in a currency nobody accepts. But here's secret number 4. Controlled conflict creates opportunity. Machiavelli understood that harmony keeps everyone in their place. Controlled chaos? That's where fortunes are made. This doesn't mean starting fights. It means recognizing that tension creates movement, and movement creates openings. Watch what happens in any organization during a crisis. The passive people freeze. The aggressive people overreact. But the Machiavellian? They've been preparing for this moment. They step in with solutions they've been developing in silence. You have every right to benefit from the chaos you didn't create. Secret number 5 is even more uncomfortable. Everyone is using you for something. Everyone. Your boss uses you for labor. Your friends use you for validation. Your family uses you for emotional support. This isn't evil, it's human nature. The only question is, are you getting equal value in return? Most people aren't. They give gold and receive copper, thinking they're being good people. Machiavelli would call this voluntary slavery. If you've ever felt drained after helping someone who never reciprocates, you're experiencing this imbalance. Secret number 6. Timing beats talent. The richest people aren't the most talented. They're the ones who acted at the perfect moment. But perfect timing doesn't come from luck. It comes from patient observation. While everyone else is rushing to show their value, the Machiavellian is watching, learning the patterns, identifying the moment when their move will have maximum impact. This is why silent people seem to get lucky breaks. They're not lucky, they're patient predators. Most people will never understand this level of strategic thinking. But you're different because you're still here learning. Now we're going deeper. These next secrets are what separate the wealthy from everyone else. Secret number 7. Your enemies teach you more than your friends. Friends tell you what you want to hear. Enemies show you what you need to know. Machiavelli said to keep your enemies closer than your friends, not to destroy them, to learn from them. Every attack reveals their strategy. Every criticism exposes their fear. Every move they make against you is free intelligence. The poor person avoids enemies. The rich person studies them like a textbook. Secret number 8 will make you uncomfortable. Generosity is a weapon. True generosity, the kind that expects nothing back, that's beautiful, but rare. Most generosity is an investment, a power play, a way to create debt. Watch how rich people give gifts, always slightly more than you can reciprocate, always public enough that others notice, always timed to precede a request. They're not being nice, they're purchasing leverage. And if you don't recognize this game, you're already in debt to someone who does. You have the right to see generosity for what it really is. A transaction. Secret number 9. Fear works better than love. Machiavelli's most famous and most misunderstood principle. He didn't say be cruel. He said if you must choose between being feared and loved, choose feared. Why? Love is conditional. Love depends on the other person's mood, circumstances, needs. Fear is reliable. Fear is consistent. Fear is yours to control. But here's the twist nobody talks about. The most powerful position isn't being feared or loved. It's being needed. When you become essential, you transcend both fear and love. You become gravity itself. If this is changing how you see every relationship, that like button lets the algorithm know you're ready for more forbidden knowledge. Secret number 10, always appear less than you are. The moment people see you as a threat, they start working against you. But if you appear slightly less capable than them, they relax. They share information. They give you opportunities to prove yourself. This is why the smartest person in the room rarely acts like it. They ask questions they know the answers to. They let others explain things they already understand. They celebrate other people's obvious insights, all while building their empire in silence. If you've ever pretended not to know something to avoid conflict, you were already using this principle. Secret number 11 hits different. Never outshine the master until you're ready to replace them. Every mentor, boss, or leader wants to feel superior to you. It's why they're helping you. The moment you make them feel inferior, the help stops, the sabotage begins. Smart people dim their light around superiors, not forever, just until they no longer need them. This isn't betrayal, it's graduation. You're not obligated to stay small to protect someone else's ego. Secret number 12, your darkness is your power. Everything you've been taught to hide, your ambition, your calculation, your strategic thinking, these aren't flaws, they're tools. Machiavelli understood that denying your nature makes you weak. Accepting it makes you unstoppable. You have the right to protect your interests. You have the right to think strategically. You have the right to build wealth in silence. If you've ever felt guilty for being ambitious, that shame was programmed into you by people who benefit from your weakness. What you thought was selfishness is actually self-preservation. What you called manipulation is actually intelligence. Secret number 13, adaptability is the highest intelligence. Machiavelli said the lion dies because it can't recognize traps. The fox dies because it can't fight wolves. But the prince who survives, he becomes whatever the moment requires. Sometimes generous, sometimes ruthless. Sometimes visible, sometimes invisible. Always intentional. This isn't being fake, it's being fluid. Water doesn't apologize for taking the shape of its container. Neither should you. While everyone else stays rigid in their identity, you're learning to transform. Secret number 14 is the one nobody wants to admit. Good things don't happen to good people. Good things happen to people who understand cause and effect, who recognize patterns, who position themselves strategically. Being good is about morality. Getting good things is about strategy. You can have both, but only if you stop confusing them. If you've been waiting for karma to reward your goodness, you've been playing the wrong game. Here's the final secret. Number 15. Silence is your greatest weapon. Every word you speak is data for others to use against you. Every opinion reveals your position. Every reaction shows your triggers. Every enthusiasm exposes your desires. The person who speaks least controls most. Not because they're mysterious, because they're unknowable, unpredictable, impossible to manipulate. This is why Machiavelli's wisdom creates wealth in silence. You're not hiding, you're building. You're not secretive, you're strategic. You now know 15 truths that most people will die without understanding. But knowledge without action is worthless. So here's my challenge. For the next 7 days, practice silence. Don't announce your plans. Don't explain your decisions. Don't justify your actions. Just observe, calculate, move in silence. Watch how differently people treat you when they can't predict you. Notice how much more you learn when you're not talking. Feel how much power builds when you don't release it through words. This video found you for a reason. You're tired of watching less capable people win. Tired of being honest in a dishonest game. Tired of giving gold and receiving copper. You're ready to play the real game. The game Machiavelli revealed. The game successful people pretend doesn't exist. The game that creates wealth in silence. If you're choosing to stop being voluntarily powerless, if you're ready to accept that strategy isn't evil, if you understand that silence is power, then you belong here. Subscribe to this channel, not because I asked, but because you recognize what we're building. A community of people who see reality clearly, who build wealth strategically, who understand that power isn't taken, it's accumulated in silence. The bell icon isn't just your admission to understanding the game behind the game, Most people will watch this video and go back to their old patterns, back to being good without being strategic, back to working hard without working smart. But you're different. You're not going back to sleep. Welcome to the other side. Drop a comment with just the number of the secret that hits you hardest. Nothing else. Let's see who really understood the assignment.